I remember getting a call from Marcus, and he said, I need help with the score for this film. I've got a friend named Jake in Nashville who you'll be working with. I'd never met Jake before. I'd never known anything about Jake up to this point. And Marcus had this crazy timeline. He had about a month that he needed us to do things in. And at first I was a little bit hesitant because it would be my first feature film score. But working with Jake was great. The two of us hit the ground running right away, and I think we turned out a pretty good product. So when Marcus first called me, he was a big fan of Trent Reznor, Cliff Martinez, and that was right up my alley. I'm a huge fan of Trent's work. He kept throwing around the word brooding, and so I made a Spotify playlist and shot it his way, and he was like, this is perfect, this is exactly what I need. So I kind of hit the ground running. From a technical standpoint, I have a resonant garden, and I kind of started there and just started playing with the sounds, and then I eventually made the horn sound on there. So I just basically pitch shifted and created the theme, which was Alan's sound that comes throughout the film. So myself and Jake Helm from Nashville, we scored the film together. Jake did a lot of the ambient assets at the end, and I created the title sequence and sort of the brooding backbone behind things. So myself and Jake Helm from Nashville, we scored the film together. It was a great experience. It was something I'd never done before. I'd never worked long distance on a feature film like this. And Jake, we just hit it off right away. I called him and we just sort of talked about stuff and talked about inspiration for what we were going to do, where we were going to score things. I laid out a beat map for the whole film, and we just hit the ground running. I started scoring the intro sequences, the title cards, the sort of NIA sequences, and then Jake started doing the ambient assets for the end. And I remember when we first shot each other the ideas, and everything was just clicking in really well. And then we had this crazy idea for the end when the climax hits to just mix all these different assets of my sounds and his sounds, and I think it did a really good job. And I think it really hit home for me when the trailer released and Jake mixed the sounds that I'd created for the beginning of the film and the sounds he created for the end of the film, and it kind of all came together in this really just nice atmosphere. So I think working with Jake was great. I'd like to work with him more. He's really good with mixing and mastering, where I will admit I'm not as great. So we kind of leveled each other out really nicely. So we've been sitting on this soundtrack for just about 3 years now. It'll be releasing January 9th, 2021, which is just about 3 years to the release date. So we're really excited to finally release it. It's something that Jake and I are pretty excited about, and we hope you guys check it out.